on, people? How you doing? I hope you're having a damn good day. Welcome back. Season 3, Episode 2, Part 2, however you want to put it. It's going to be great. It's going to be lit. Of course, our first season with Everton, we're going to have to see how the second half of our first season pans out. I'm looking very excited to see how things may work. We will be making a few signings, 1, 2, potentially 3 in this episode alone. Of course, I hope you guys enjoyed. If you do, hit the like button down below and don't forget to subscribe if you are new. And after a win against Bolton, a 3-1 win in the FA Cup, and an unfortunate draw against Nottingham Forest, we find ourselves at home to Manchester City, who are currently leading the league. And if we're going to try and contend for that top 4 spot, we need to gain a few extra points, and then that starts with winning right here, right now. And I mean, to be fair, we had a very decent game. I was very impressed with Dwight McNeil, although at the same time, he hasn't had the best start to the new year. And you guys will see very shortly why before the ball falls to damn near Erling Haaland. I don't even understand how good a player can be like Erling Haaland is in real life. Like, he is an absolute goal machine, scoring goals for fun. And as you can see right there, Dwight McNeil with a chance to potentially win the game. I don't know what he was thinking or how he was doing it, but he scuffed it so badly that the ball went very, very far wide. So yeah, we could have pulled within a few extra points of City. Instead, we ended up drawing, sharing the spoils. Kind of sucks. And in terms of how we're going to be moving our team forward, I think our two, Kunku and Patterson, I think they are needing a bit more game time and will probably need to go out on loan for the foreseeable future to secure themselves some first team football. And in saying that, it would mean that we would be looking for 2 new fullbacks. So some players I have in mind is Tanganga and Rico Henry of Brentford. Tanganga, of course, we were very interested when we were with Blackpool, of course. And I think they could make great additions to our team. But nothing is set just yet, as we still have the likes of Nkunku and Patterson in the team. And we move on, though, to our very big game against Middlesbrough United. Middlesbrough? It's just Middlesbrough. And sometimes, somehow, some way, they always seem to find a result against us, which really irritates me. And to compound the irritation, Adam Idar gets injured. Now, behind the scenes, I was kind of moving for Adam Idar to somewhat start more games. And this injury, it's an ACL tear, so he's going to be out for the next 7 months. This injury is going to definitely rock the entire boat, because I was also kind of open to the likes of Dominic Calvert-Lewin being shipped out. I was quite happy to move him on and potentially bring in a cheaper alternative and have Adam Idar more or less grow into the role and become our future star. And I mean, to be fair, a great deal came in for Dominic Calvert-Lewin, and I was very excited to accept it, but we can't now, because we don't have enough time in the window to bring in a different striker to replace our main striker, knowing that our second striker in Adam Idar is out with a 7-month injury. So some plans had to be shelved, other plans had to be brought a bit closer, a bit more forward. Plans such as the Jaffa Tanganga and Rico Henry plans, because that does mean that our 2 young fullbacks in Patterson and Nkunku, they are going out on loan. And then I decided to make another deal to try and strengthen our midfield and bringing in Oliver Skip, who I don't understand it. Like, FIFA really needs to improve the logic of teams. Like, Oliver Skip is well, I don't know, this could maybe not happen, but I don't see him leaving Tottenham and going to play for Real Betis in Spain. It might happen, but more times than not, it's very unlikely. So I decided it's kind of an unrealistic deal that he's going to be in Spain. So why not bring him in, and he can potentially be the secondary option as a CDM for us. And I remember the Crystal Palace career mode, he didn't have much of a run in the team during that time, because we did bring in Calvin Phillips, and I think there is some unfinished business between him and me. So I'm very excited to see how he does. Of course, we do then delegate the Tanganga and the Rico Henry deals, and I'm looking very forward to how the squad is shaping. It's looking very good. We've trimmed a lot of it, Of course, coming in the beginning of the season, there was a lot of, I don't know, just players that were just not fit to wear the shirt really. And we've trimmed it a lot, and I'm very happy with how everything is looking. Of course, accepting the final contract terms, dotting the I's and dashing the T's, some might say, in the contracts. But Rico Henry will wear number 21, Jaffa Tanganga will wear number 2, of course vacated numbers, and Oliver Skip will wear number 14. Now, it was a bit of a weird one this deadline day, as we had like weird offers coming in. I mean, I'm open to selling maybe a few players, a handful of players potentially, but Højbjerg to Liverpool is definitely not one of them. And Connor Cody to Juventus, I'm open to selling Cody, but just not this season. I don't think we have enough depth there to maintain a good enough roster if we had to sell him and then bring somebody in potentially, but there's just not enough time in the window. So ultimately, deadline day, we made 3 brilliant signings, 3 players that I have been looking at for a while and that I think can fit in seamlessly moving forward. I mean, of course, Jaffa Tanganga can play as a centre-back, a right wing-back, and so on. So I'm looking very forward to seeing how he goes and how this team moves forward. We have got quite a few fixtures coming up, and we are going to be rotating our team a decent amount regardless. So off the bat though, first game after the transfer window, and yeah, we're getting bashed in this one. It is not even funny. I've never played a worse half of football than what I did in this one. Newcastle United just took us apart for fun. It was so frustrating because in this situation, just clear the ball. That's all I had to do, and Newcastle just buzzed it around my box, and I don't even know how or why, but they were one-touch football, absolutely perfect. Between Alexander Isaac and Adam St. Maximin, they were phenomenal. So yeah, it was a lot a lot of frustrations heading into halftime. And just after they had scored this, I decided to pull the plug, make quite a few changes, to be fair, because there were so many of these players that were just not looking good. To be fair, the 3 players that came off, yes, they were bad for me. Don't get me wrong, they were really bad for me. But in saying that, I'm gonna take a page out of Erik ten Hag's book. I could have subbed the whole team. I could have subbed the entire team, and they're lucky I could only make 3 damn subs. But moving on though, Wolves, after a very embarrassing 3-1 loss to Newcastle, we bounced back against Wolves. A great goal from Anthony Gordon. And to be fair, if you guys notice, I have made quite a few changes to certain positions. And that's a wonder goal strike there from Jude Bellingham, of course, who somehow Newcastle United found a way to nullify him, but what a strike nonetheless. In this game, he was our midfield maestro, pulling strings all over the field, making the right runs, making sure the team remained compressed, compact, and we were doing what we wanted. We were 3-0 up, half-time. It was looking like an absolute great game. Made a few changes, and bang, yep, we were exposed heavily after the break, and Wolves, they deserved it. They deserved their 2 goals they scored. They could have even won this game if they had finished those chances that they had created for themselves, but we would just scrape over the line with a 3-2 win away at the Molineux. I mean, we would go on, beat Brentford 1-0, but a lot of these results, they're not looking great. They're not looking like a dominant performance, and we even get knocked out of the FA Cup to Fulham. I was just besides myself. Like, the results so far, as the year's turned, or the turn of the new year, I should say, they're not looking great. They are not looking great at all. Like, our league position somewhat flatters us. We are sitting third, only 3 points behind Man City in first place, but we've played 2 more games. If we had potentially drawn against Newcastle United or beaten Manchester City, we could potentially be first. Yes, we would have played 2 more games, but the idea is to win the games in front of you, and if we are slacking like that, it's unacceptable. And can I just say that the Damari Bray touch, and like, I don't even understand it. He was insane. that's another goal of the season contender, the Bellingham and the Damari Gray one. But there is another special goal coming up that I think will potentially win it. But just before halftime, we are absolutely cruising for what looks to be a very dominant win. We haven't played dominant football in a while. Jude Bellingham finishes off a beautiful team-worked goal, just picking passes in and out of the defense's box, and we are 3-0 up. And to be fair, Fulham did play very well. We just managed to tuck away our chances. Our finishing in this game was elite, and a 4-1 win does flatter us quite a bit. But in saying that, I do think this was probably our best game of the year. Just the way we did play, and we managed to handle Fulham's attacking outlets. But moving on though to Tottenham, a very good team, of course. This was the Jude Bellingham game. He was everywhere, anywhere, and of all else, he was the thorn in Tottenham's side, scoring a hat-trick in this game, people. Yes, that's right, you heard me correctly. Our midfield maestro turning into prime Yaya Toure, goal-wise anyway. He was magnificent. Our first hat-trick of the season, I think. It's definitely our first hat-trick of the year. I think Dominic Calvert-Lewin has scored maybe 1 or 2 hat-tricks. And then the cherry on top was Jaffa Tanganga coming on as a sub and then scoring against his former side in Spurs. Antonio Conte, eat your heart out. He is now my player. A player that I have wanted, I think, since the beginning of Season 2. I wanted him to back up or potentially start in Britain for Blackburn Rovers, and it just wasn't to be. As every time we went into negotiations with Spurs, they would always find a way to not accept our bids or ideas, so it was a bit frustrating nonetheless. But we move on to Chelsea at Stamford Bridge, and we get off to a great start. A very lucky start, but a great one nonetheless, as Don Colburn heads home for a 1-0 lead before Mason Mount smashes home a kind of a rebound. I mean, keeper saves it, deflects it, muddles up and goes everywhere. Mount tucks it home. 1-1 though. We share the points at the end of the day. And to be fair, going away to Stamford Bridge is always hard. I mean, it is. And taking a point when potentially you probably should have lost, because they did create quite a few chances and Flecken was on point. But I was very happy with the point nonetheless. And we move on though to Leicester City at home, and it was an absolute bulldoze moment in our season. This is the kind of game that we've been needing, and people, ladies and gentlemen, sit down for this one. It's about to be an absolute screamer, bumpy ride. Bang it. Absolutely insane. When I scored that, I was celebrating. I was going berserk. I knew that I'd hit that well, but I thought that the keeper would get there just in time. What happened is I think the ball goes too close to the post, so the keeper saves it onto the post and manages to squeeze inside and beat the keeper, of course. And potentially that is the goal of the season, in my opinion. We absolutely deserve our points in this game. Different gravy. We were just different gravy to Leicester City. And to be fair, Leicester have lost quite a few of their good players in this career mode, just as they have done in real life. So it makes so much sense that we would just trounce them the way we did. I mean, to be fair, that goal there is just rude. As it's so rude of me to somewhat square it in front of the goalkeeper and then still pass it into the back of the net. But we would run out 6-0 winners against Leicester City, probably our biggest win of the season, maybe of the career mode. I'm not too sure. We may have won 6-1 or 7-1 potentially some time ago, but definitely our biggest one on the year for sure. And then taking all that momentum into the West Ham game, and we end up losing 4-1. What is up with this team? The consistency levels need to be there if we're going to try and do something special this season. Of course, we've got 3 more games to go. We are 8 points behind. I don't think the title race, or I don't think we're in for the title. It would take Manchester City an extreme amount of failure to choke this title away, especially to us. Nonetheless, we're facing our former side in Blackburn Rovers, and Frederick White was a man on a mission. He was the guy, the catalyst to create everything good for this team. And let's just say they gave us a beating. They absolutely trounced us before Dolan absolutely making it an unassailable lead at 3-0. Another embarrassing loss. And yeah, I don't think the chemistry is right at the moment in this team. I don't know exactly what we have to do because we were playing some pretty good, breathtaking football in the previous episode. And somehow we haven't managed to continue that or move on with that. I just feel like we need to find a bit more consistency, and whether that's signing a player or maybe getting rid of some players in the summer, it will have to be addressed because as the season winds down, I'm finding it very frustrating that we can't go on a run of 5 or 6 games and win them. This is a very good team nonetheless. We are facing Liverpool right now, and to be fair, in the opening half, we weren't doing too badly. We were not doing too badly. We were passing the ball around the box, getting goals left, right, and centre. 21 minutes gone by, we are 2-0 up. Like, that's somewhat unheard of for an Everton team. And just before half-time, or 8 minutes before half-time, I should say, Diogo Jota gets one back for them. And, it's one of those, I suppose. But we'll move on. Of course, Everton are our main rivals, and we want to try and make sure we can almost score more goals. But consistency is our biggest thing. And as the second half begins, we did not start off very well at all, giving away a penalty. Mo Salah not above it at that moment. We just sat back. We were quite happy with our lead, and we hit Liverpool on the break, which is a very easy and correct thing to do against a team like Liverpool, as Ruben Vinagre scores a filthy chip. And like I say, we just sat back and hit them on the break, gave ourselves a lot of time to compose ourselves in front of goal, like Dominic Calvert-Lewin did just there, just smashed it home past Alisson. And a very good win for us. We would run out 5 winners, Dominic Calvert-Lewin hat-trick against our most fierce rivals in Liverpool, who are doing very well in the Champions League this season. So good for them in a way, but absolutely screw them because we just destroyed them at Goodison Park. Dominic Calvert-Lewin was phenomenal in that game. He did everything correctly. And I think even the Ruben Vinagre goal, he had a huge part to play in holding up the ball and passing it off to allow Vinagre to be almost one-on-one with the goalkeeper before he chips him. So very good nonetheless. We move on though to our last game of the season. It was going to be against Arsenal. As you can see there, City, we're out of the race. But Man United, they could still potentially have a say in who wins this title. Now, we get off to a mediocre start against Arsenal. We didn't create many chances, neither did they. Our one chance came off a defensive error, some might say, and we were able to tap it home. But Man United busy losing 1-0 to Aston Villa, with City busy winning 2-0 to Fulham. Or they were winning 2-0 versus Middlesbrough. I'm not too sure. But regardless, we're winning. We can only focus on the game that we have in hand. And Matt Turner gives away a very petulant penalty. Arsenal are not doing well at all. They are sitting 16th currently in the league. That is a horrendous season for Arsenal. You cannot sugarcoat that at all. 16th in the league, that's relegation almost. I think they're safe from relegation, but regardless, they're still so far off of it. And it showed in this game that if they had approached this season with a bit more fight, as they did in the second half of this game, they probably would have won top 4. Because this was a game of goals and goals galore. What a way to end off our season, as Demarai Gray scores a screamer from just inside the box. Matt Turner, of course, he's not a very good goalkeeper, so basically any damn shot that you take at him, it's going to go in. And the boys realised this, and we took on quite a few great, outstanding shots as Dwight McNeil scores another banger on his left foot, of course. And we probably shouldn't have let the scoreline be what it was. A 4-3 scoreline, a 7-goal thriller on the final day. It was a few defensive mistakes, a few defensive errors at the back, but nonetheless, we'll take the 3 points. This game didn't really matter because top 4 was secured. We weren't going to win the Premier League, but yeah, if we have that or the same mentality that we did in the second half of the season, next season it's not going to be a very good year for us. We need to find a bit more consistency. And to be fair, 8 points off of first place. You can make those points up with just a tad bit more consistency and a bit more fights. But Leeds, Palace, and Brighton all go down. They are all down. Lol. It's very unfortunate with City, United, of course, Everton, and Chelsea making top four. Blackburn, not too bad. They finished ninth. I do think they will struggle though next season, as they weren't consistent at all, and I think a lot of their good players might be heading out the exit door. So it does suck a bit for them, but hopefully they can maintain some of their players. And then just going over some of our stats for the season, Dominic Calvert-Lewin leading the way with 27 goals. Jude Bellingham, 21 goals from a number 8 role. That's incredible. Jacob Ramsey, 14. Dwight McNeil, a good amount, but we need a bit more on our wing. That is one area that I will be looking to target come the new year. The wing, particularly the right wing. I mean, Demarai Gray, he's a good player, but not as a start. If we're trying to win the league, we need to improve there quite a bit. I mean, it wasn't the worst season, to be fair. I mean, we came third. We were, 6 or 7 points off of the top. So there will be a lot to do in the next season. Of course, the next episode will be a special one, as it will be our final episode of FIFA 22. So please, guys, make sure you are here for it. It's going to be out sometime next week, just before FIFA 23 drops, of course. And if you guys would like to, please smash that like button down below. Show the love for the video. I appreciate every single one of you who have viewed this so far and gotten to this point, of course. And I hope to see you guys back for the next one. It's going to be great. Enjoy the rest of your damn day. I'm out. Deuces. Let's go.